Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So, on your request, I posted a poll yesterday that which type of guide do you want. So, most of people vote for the best routine to follow to memorize the Quran as a student. So, personally, I'm a college student right now. I go to college. I'm in first year of computer science and I'm a regular student. So, I will tell you the best routine to memorize the Quran and to remember it also and how to manage your time. So, first of all, the biggest struggle we as a student face is we don't have time, or if we do have time, like after college, we get tired in college and then we have no energy, or you can say no brain points to memorize our lesson and to revise it and to read it to someone. So, the best routine for that and the best tip I can give you for that is to memorize your lesson first thing in the morning. So, imagine this that you have 100 brain points when you wake up. So when you wake up, you have 100 brain points and you use those brain points to memorize your lesson. Like you didn't eat breakfast or you didn't did anything, you just prayed Fajr and right after that you memorize your lesson. So you will use those 100 brain points to memorize your lesson, and I guarantee that you will memorize your lesson in like 30 minutes to 1 hour if you follow a right strategy. So, what's the right strategy for that? First of all, look for prepare your lesson a night before, read that lesson 5 to 10 times, and look for the hard words that you can't pronounce, underline those words, and look for the similar ayahs or the words that are in your lesson and point out those. After you have done that, when you wake up, like do that thing when you are going to your bed. When you are before sleep, read your lesson 5 to 10 times and then go direct to sleep. Do nothing after that. Thus, how when you wake up, you will be like your brain will tell you that you have to memorize your lesson because you did the last thing before a night before. You memorize like you prepare your lesson. So at the morning, your brain will be ready for memorizing your lesson, and then you'll use those 100 brain points to memorize your lesson. So, first of all, I will tell you that don't eat breakfast until you memorize your lesson because when we get full on stomach, our body works on our stomach, not on our brain. And that's how we lack focus. You can relate to me that we have a brain fog when we eat a sugary breakfast or we eat a lot of junk food, etc. Or if it is healthy, we also get lazy, all because of our stomach is full. Our body is working on our stomach, not on our brain. And that's why we can't focus on our lesson. So don't eat breakfast until you memorize your lesson. This is the routine that Hafaz follows in the madrasa. So when I was in the madrasa back in like 2022 or something like that. So when I was in the madrasa, when the student read the lesson to their teacher, then after that they get their breakfast as a reward. But if they didn't read their lesson to the teacher, they get punishment and they didn't get breakfast until they memorize that lesson and read it to their teacher with zero mistakes. So that's how they were able to memorize that lesson so fast in like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, no more than that. Like a normal Hafiz were memorizing 1 to 2 pages in 1 hour. So that's how they were able to memorize their new lesson. So now we come to the revision. How you are going to revise your lesson. So first of all, the new lesson that you have memorized, you are going to revise that lesson in your prayers. We pray 5 times a day, Fajr, Zohar, Asr, Maghrib, and Isha. So in every obligatory rakah, there is like two first rakah that we are going to read other surahs or other ayahs of the Quran. Like we read Surah Fatah first, and then we read some of the uh, ayahs from the Quran. So at that time, you are going to read your previous the lesson that you memorized in the morning. You are going to revise that lesson in 5 daily prayers. That means you will revise your lesson 10 times. Remember this that revising your lesson on your own 10 times is equal to revising your lesson 1 time in your prayer because at that time your focus level is very sharp and also you will get reward for focusing on your prayer. Like when we are praying, we are here like as physical, we are praying here, we are like our hand is like this, Allah Akbar. We are reading this, but our brain is thinking of like our college or the video games that we played or the video we watch on YouTube or TikTok and Instagram. Like our brain is processing those thoughts and we are not focusing on our prayer. So that's how you will be able to focus on your prayer, and also you will revise your lesson too. So like revising your lesson 10 times a day in prayer means you have revised your lesson 100 times with your own in your own, like sitting at your home. You get that? How you are going to revise your new lesson. Now we are getting into how you are going to revise your previous lesson that you memorized. Like you are in a juice. I have teach like three phases of hifz, which is sabab, new lesson, sabti, which is reinforcement, and manzil, which is the long-term revision. So we like describe. I told you in detail that how you are going to memorize your new lesson and revise it. Next thing, revision, the reinforcement subkey. In subkey, we revise the previous lessons which we have memorized in the same juz that we are memorizing. So for example, I'm memorizing first juz, Alif Lam Mim, and I have memorized 5 pages of that, means 5 lessons. So what I'm going to do is, when I memorize the 6th page, okay, it's my 6 lessons, I will add up that lesson to the previous 5 lessons. That will be 6 lessons in total. And I am going to revise that 1 time a day. So I will not forget what I had memorized in the same juz. Basically, you have to read this, the subkey or the reinforcement, to your like teacher, partner, sister, brother, anyone out there. You can read that to them, and then they will point out your mistakes, and then you can like correct your mistakes and revise it again and read it to them again tomorrow. That's how the subkey is like when you come back from your school or college, then in the afternoon you can read your subkey. But we left with the third one, which is the long-term revision. So for example, you have memorized 5 or 10 juz. You have memorized 5 to 10 juz. You have to revise 1 juz or half juz a day. So what you're going to do is at evening after Maghrib prayer or after Isha prayer. I will not recommend after Isha prayer because after Isha prayer we have a dinner and we can't focus at that time. And also I will not recommend in early afternoon because when we get back from school we eat a big lunch, and then we will not able to focus on our reinforcement, which we call subkey. So I will say that after 2 to 3 hours of your lunch, read the the subkey to your best friend, sister, anyone in the house, or your teacher in the madrasa. And then after Maghrib prayer, before dinner, read your revise your previous pages, previous juice. Sorry, the previous juice that you had memorized. For example, 5 juice memorized, and then you are going to revise each juice each day, like 1 juice a day. Or if you don't have time and you can't revise much, so then you can do like a half juice a day. So what you're going to do is you are going to read that 1 time, and then you will be ready to read that to your teacher, brother, sister, anyone out there. At that time, madrasa are like closed, so I will recommend that read that lesson to your best friend or anyone at home, or go to your masjid. If you are a boy and you can go to masjid, there is so many like people out there, and you can ask someone that look for my like I will read my lesson to you and then correct my mistakes if I make, and that's it. You are going to build a connection with the people also, and you are going to revise your previous exam. That's it. So this is the full routine that I personally followed as a student. It's really easy for you if you are obsessed with Quran memorization, if you are not doing it passively. So it is really good routine for you to follow. Like there is no such a thing that you can memorize Quran passively, like 1 eye or 2 eye a day. Like you can do that for few juz. Like if your goal is to memorize one or two juz or some important surahs like Surah Yasin, Surah Ar-Rahman, or Surah Baqarah, etc. You can do for that. You can do like passively 1 to 2 ayahs a day. But if your goal is to memorize the whole Quran, then don't go passively. Memorize 1 to 2 pages a day and follow a proper routine for that, and don't take like breaks of like holidays and uh, when you go out for vacations and you forget your lessons out there, like you are not reading Quran. The mistake that I made personally, we will go for a vacation a month and then I didn't read Quran there, and that's how I like forget everything I had memorized, and then I will start over again. So don't make these mistakes. Stick to the routine, follow the routine, and do that every single day. This was the whole routine that I follow, and inshallah, I will come back with a new guide. Also, I have created a community where I teach people how to memorize the Quran, and I do like coaching calls and group calls, etc. We have a community where you can post, and there's bunch of courses. I didn't uploaded that yet, but I'm uploading that courses, and I get together those all videos, formats, and those PDFs, etc., and all of those tools. So if you are interested to memorize the Quran, and if you are able to invest in yourself, so I will highly recommend that. Check the link below this video, and I will see you in the new guide, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.